the best show ever already.
Is it your babies? What are you doing?
Little doggy. Oh, so cute. What's his name?
I'm collecting rent.
Oh, so cute.
From my. This is Milo. He's the stinker man, and he's a stinker Frenchman. And I call him my blood debt or my blood oath. I don't know if I told you that before or you've heard this story. Anybody who has, buckle up. I'm going to tell it again. But first, I have to. I gotta do the thing so I can share it. Isn't that funny? All the hoops I have to jump, even though I have the. That was attractive. Even though I have the StreamYard software, right? I still have to finagle some change because also the P3 page is whatchamacallit, a private page.
Oh, yes.
So then I
didn't
have
even think about that.
So then I have to be me, right? Not like a Tori page, but then on other things like through Instagram or YouTube, I couldn't like repost because I wasn't a page.
You're so technically savvy. I admire that. I don't know if I could pull this off.
It's getting worse because every time I think I have it, I don't.
That's
oh, bless you. Okay.
But you got a baby.
Pokey here. He was my husband, so grandfather-in-law, and grandfather-in-law, is French, but New Caledonian French, so like the crazy island French. But there's this. I have the book behind my.
No, I lost you. Hello? Hi, everyone. Tori, we lost you, my friend. There we are.
I just when I think my internet's working and all the things, I don't know. I guess it's my fault this time. There is like a little blip when I logged into StreamYard that was like, oh, we've had some incompatibility issues with Chrome.
That's what it was telling me too when I went to log in. So I had to log in from my phone. Yeah.
That's yeah. And then last time I tried to log in from my phone, my earbuds were being ridiculous. So I hope that doesn't happen right now. And if it does, I'm gonna like sidebar here. Like, do I have what is it? Firefox, Edge. What do you do when you don't use Chrome? Edge. That's what's in here, I guess.
Yeah, that's what you got to use.
Okay, so I'll have that on standby here because who knows, things could get shiesty here in a second.
Technology is tricky.
Technology is all I can have. I have just like a week of songs in my head because I guess I'm trying to like stay there and not super or crazy hyper focus or any of the fun stuff.
You don't want to leave the weekend. You're just still in fun mode.
I guess. And then I don't know about you. Well, no, you're on that West Coast right now, but I'm like, okay, now I got to get ready for the next time zone that I'll be here for.
Yes, and me coming up.
Oh my goodness, I'm excited about it. Okay, I wonder if I can do this seamlessly. Do you happen? Oops, no, I don't want that. Do you have the notes with you? I might make you do the condom joke of the day while I try to see if I can this over, and maybe you can introduce what the hell this show is. Oh, please, while I figure my shit out.
So let me just pull everything up here.
Thank you, friend.
Let's see. There we go. This is going to be a super fun time to talk about sex tech. I'm excited. Lost Tori. She's logging back in. Okay, we're good. We're good. Having some technical issues today, but what would be I guess it's Tuesday, not a Monday, but what would be a Tuesday without a few little hiccups? But hopefully everyone's having a great day. Those on the East Coast, you guys are at the end of your day. West Coast, we're getting there. So that's exciting. Tori.
Chrome done let me down. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're good.
Hey. Okay. I might be just on the wrong sound, but it sounds like everybody can hear me, and we're just gonna figure this all out. Okay. So I'm sorry. Chrome is I don't know. They're fighting again. If it's not whatchamacallit, Meta and whatever streaming service they're fighting about, then apparently now it's StreamYard now and the rest of the world. Oh no, I have another baby bits. Are you coming here? Oh no, there's too many.
Oh.
Okay, here's my queen. He's just a cheweenie. Nothing
Another
bothers him.
little baby.
He's gonna be 100 because nothing bothers him.
Oh.
It's fantastic. Okay. Whew. So if you're just popping in, I'm so sorry. Life someday will be smooth. I was attempting to get the cute dog talk while Danielle and I figure out this streaming service. And now I can tell you that if you are using StreamYard, maybe even Zoom, I saw that little notification. There's having some problems, not just in Chrome, but in the rest of the life. Okay, so if you're also just jumping in, good. Just don't rewind to that other stuff. Pretend that you're starting here. We're starting over. Hello. I'm Tori. I have 4 dogs and many friends in this career that is working on 11 years now of whether it be lube or sexual wellness, whatever. Now mostly condoms, but meshing everything into just this beautiful industry of opportunity, right? I started streaming because I was like learning so much because the way that the condom industry, she knows the way that they function is on a completely different, I don't even want to say timetable, but just like strategy.
Yeah.
And just translating that alone into what customers need and kind of this like specialty as I've heard it called. Okay, wait, just don't jump.
Gotta be careful, little baby.
I need an assistant. Chewy, you're not being good. So just kind of understanding what people need and how people are just like still have that positive intent. I started just like rambling into this internet, which I call the ether, and friends like lovely Danielle here. We're coming and talking back to the ether. So now I keep going and I can't stop. And now I kind of just like, this is how I check in like with my mental sanity too. Because sometimes like today, I was literally still typing and sending the emails. So sorry, people. This is like yesterday's hair, and I'm trying.
You look fabulous.
Thank you. I'm trying to clear up my face for. I talked to Blanca today, and maybe pajama party is still on. So I'm trying to clear up my skin for pajama parties. Okay. So I don't know. Do you have the notes? Do you want to do the bad condom joke of the day?
Let's do the bad common joke of the day. I have our outline on kind of some of the things we wanted to talk about.
Yay. Okay. I'll let you do the joke.
Oh, you want me to tell a joke or I have to? Oh God, I don't have any jokes, lady. I am
No.
not.
I wrote it down on the thing.
What thing?
On the outline. It says condom joke of the day.
Did you email it to me?
I did. It should be attached. That's okay. I thought, see, you know what? This is a whole other just episode in my brain of like mastering communication, right? You can be a master of communication. And I totally thought I was being clear there. And I was not. I emailed some notes earlier and things happened or didn't happen, right?
Yes, I did not get the notes, unfortunately.
That's so not cool.
That's okay. That's okay. We're here.
That's weird. It does. I had to go check my scent box because this is my paranoia come to life. Okay. Well, anyways, the party shall continue. I started making bad condom jokes because in my head it just keeps a good pace for the show, right? I don't want anyone to be nervous, and I don't take myself that seriously, and I don't want anybody here to take themselves too seriously. Yes, we sometimes have some great advice, but the whole point of being here is to inspire and maybe learn something along the way. One of my favorite things about being able to travel and going to trade shows and things like that is not just I get to see my friends, because a lot of you are now, let's be honest, but you know, I kind of get to refill the well of creative magic, so to speak.
Which I love. Yes.
Yay. Okay. Oh, look, Helene's here. Hi, love. Oh, I miss you. You need to come to my place at some point. Okay. So here's the joke. Are you ready? Hey, I told my date I work in condom sales.
Yes.
And guess what? They said, well, that sounds like a lot of pressure. And I said, only if you don't leave room in the tip.
I mean, that was bad, but good.
It was bad. That's the point. I love bad, but good. They're amazing. Okay. So again, if you're tuning in, if you're new here, I'm Tori, your self-proclaimed condom charmer in teeth, right? Because I got to get my boss vibes in, and host of this wonderful chaos that is mine of a web series that I drag all my friends into. So enjoy it. Disclaimer. Ooh, look, I made a little boopity. I don't have it up. Disclaimer. Maybe explicit content ahead, right? If you don't want to talk about retail strategy in pertaining to anything sexual wellness and or pleasure, wait, I'm Southern now. Bless. You can go off. Bless be with you. I don't. You know. Hopefully, I should not be hitting any of those audiences. The algorithm sends me somewhere, but you know, also maybe you're not prepared for that because it's like early streaming coffee when you're catching this. So, you know, things can happen. And that's the beauty of the show.
I appreciate how thorough you are.
Thank you. So now we get to be all techie, right? With appies and other vibes in the side of the pleasure world. What's also badass, all the things about Danielle. I'm going to key her up to introduce herself here in a minute. But what's also really badass, just from what is it like the shadow government of the world that is the industry. She probably knows more about the side of the business that I'm running with condoms than I do right now. She's actually somebody that I would call for advice and all these fun things. So I'm extra excited to kind of ask her questions and get. I love when people have more than, as I call it, one side of the desk, right? You can at least understand everybody's a why in some of these dumb processes. I'll call them dumb because some of them are. So Miss Fabulous Danielle. Creative force behind some of the coolest integrations I'm coming to see, right, between pleasure products and what is like digital intimacy or digital pleasure, right? We won't get too much into like the AI avatars and social sex tech, and like that's coming to be like a huge, it's just the word, right? AI everything. We're going to talk how it goes with toys and how it's not just like a techie buzzword, how you can actually use it to connect people in ways you didn't think of, right? Also, what I love about doing these things is like, I don't know what I don't know. So maybe Danielle will tell us. So welcome, my love. What's new? What's cracking? What are you reading? I also need to know what's going on in maybe the erotic stories app. I know it's not ready yet, but tell me the things. Let's dish.
So, everything's new. You know, I've been with Lovense for almost 6 months now. And so I am getting fully immersed in this new kind of tech world and everything that comes with it. And so, yeah, it's just been a fun time. You know, I got to kind of debut at altitude and see everyone. And now I'm, you know, more working on, you know, connecting everyone with all these wonderful assets that we have. So, but yeah, no, I love this position because it's made me really think outside the box and how much more inclusive we can make the industry through tech.
What do you mean by inclusive, right? I think you were saying through tech is almost how it happened. I was like, you knew I was going to that, right? I feel like sometimes it's a great word, but I don't think it means what it meant in 2020. Inclusivity can mean a lot of things, right? Can you elaborate on how you're going to work on that through tech, right?
So I feel like, you know, almost with working at Lovense and working with tech, I've had to retrain my brain, you know, from the sex toy world that I came from and kind of, you know, the talking points on, you know, different toys. But with Lovense, it's just like this it's a whole new world. And one of the things I appreciate about it most is that it really fits into your lifestyle. And I don't think that people understand how much, regardless of whether your personality or your preferences or anything like that, I feel like this tech allows you to really, get the most out of your pleasure experience. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different like discovery kind of opportunities that we have. Like, you have like little games you can play. And I love that because it really teaches you about yourself. It teaches you about your body, kind of in ways that you wouldn't have through like a traditional toy. And I think that there's a place for every vibe in the world. Everyone has a home. There's room for everybody. I just think it's really exciting now that I'm working more in the tech space, how much when we talk about being inclusive, one of the things I like are maybe introverts like myself who never leave the house. This is really applicable to people like that. Or maybe you have super social butterflies who want to meet everybody. There's a lot of capabilities that aren't just like the app controlling the toy that I think really allows people to have this new kind of sexual health and wellness experience outside of just a traditional toy and traditional vibes. And
I love that. Like just what was the word that I heard recently? It's more than 80%.
It's what?
Sorry, I got dogs. Quick dog interlude. 80% of people are actually, I think it's an ambivert, right? Where it's neither you're an introvert or an extrovert. It's that just like typically your situation makes you one or the other, right? So a lot of that situation has to do with the energy of the people you're around. Like there's certain people, as Cherie calls it, I can house cat with, where I actually feel like I can rest. But being able to kind of match some of that energy where you can into tech seems like is it the word elevated?
Yeah,
I love that.
There's like days I literally almost forget that I'm selling sex toys and I'm not working on like tech, health, and wellness. A lot of it is, I talk about like when I'm in the stores and doing presentations, I feel like having this app experience. And, I'm obviously speaking to Lovense because that's what I know. So I don't want to like put words in the mouth for like other brands, but like, I think this kind of goes.
I'll put a disclaimer up like this is just our opinions, right? These are not associated in like, we didn't do all of our Harvard research studies. These are not the opinions of our brands, yada, yada, yada. Okay.
Yeah. When you're in stores and you're talking to people, and I feel like you have these discovery conversations and everybody is walking their own path. You know what I mean? Whether it's where they're at in their life, or they've made changes in their life, or they're seeking out pleasure for the first time, they're seeking out better pleasure. And I just feel like, the app enabled products, and I know we just say app enabled in general, and we'll break it down a little bit in the future, but I think that these really give someone a tangible way to interact with other people in safe ways. I know that, a lot of times I'm in the stores and I talk to maybe a single person who's shy and they're really, maybe they want to go out and meet people, but they don't know how, or they don't want to like, be in the bar every night, like picking up people, there's ways through sex tech that you can connect very easily and very safely. And I just think that that's such a huge opportunity. Like I'm a little vanilla bean introvert. So for me, it's like an amazing opportunity that, we have an option called control roulette, where you can literally match with someone anywhere in the world. You don't know anything about them. You take control of each other's toys, you vibe, and then you end it, and it's over. You didn't have any of this awkward interaction or, trying to force a relationship when really that's not what you're looking for. And so I just think that that's a really neat opportunity. I think it's neat for maybe couples who are looking and want to explore like a third, or like maybe, bring in other people, but want to do so in a safe and controlled way. Being able to utilize these apps, and like I mentioned, control roulette is an option within like the Lovense app. We just recently introduced a feature called Link Hub. So you can link up with people, you can link up with groups. So you have a lot of flexibility in how you're interacting with people. And I think that takes a lot of pressure off, especially if you're looking for like a sexual experience. And it's not like you can just walk up to someone and be like, hey, you want to control my vibe? Like, you know what I mean? Like it gives it gives you like that anonymous safety. You don't have to be anonymous if you don't want to. You know, there's a lot of fun. Like people can make their own patterns and different fun things that other people can download and use. And I think that there's this like community sense of like sharing that I really like. And when I'm in stores, customers are like, oh, you can download other people's patterns and see what they're doing and things like that. So control roulette's like one of my favorite opportunities for you to like meet or not meet, I should say, a stranger out there.
Your choice, your choice.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, there is the option if you don't want to be anonymous, you can chat, you can share videos, you can do lots of different things. The app has a very like social feel to it, and that's what I super love because I think it gives stores this new conversation that they can have where it's not just, oh, this toy has 10 speeds and patterns and it is USB rechargeable and waterproof, and here you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is like,
or this one's for this body part, this one's for that body part. This is a now what does I want to say? We had Rin on, me and Milu. We had Rin on at Sport Sheets, and she did a really good job of kind of tailoring it out and mentioning that she does, you know, instead of what is it, good, better, best, which is what I'm always doing, right? Because we like managing multiple brands. But with Sport Sheets, they're set up to kind of just be more like beginner, intermediate, and advanced, so that like your customers with you from that like 18 to 25 and over. So I am assuming that Lovense, of course, will do that sort of journey for their customers, but you almost get that in one box experience already. So maybe not the best beginner toy unless you're really techie, right? Like I wouldn't have known what to do.
No, actually the tech is incredible.
Ask the questions.
It's really incredibly easy to use. I will admit I myself was a little nervous when I started because I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not a tech like giant. Like how am I gonna like break this down? But they have made it so intuitive, so easy that you really, other than powering on the toy and powering on your cell phone, don't have to do much more. It's pretty integrated. The Bluetooth, the new 5.0 that we're using will automatically connect most times before you can even go in and do it yourself. So it doesn't take, like, don't be intimidated if you have someone for the first time looking for a vibe. Don't be afraid to recommend that tech item because it's not as complicated as it used to be. And I think especially like I talk about our toys being beginner friendly because there's a lot of like built-in games that you can play that kind of walk you through different ways to use the vibe that you may not have thought of before, or seek out pleasure points that you didn't know.
Like those games I try to hack my kids with to learn your ABCs.
Basically, like there's a game called Flappy Jumpy, and you like stroke it to make it jump over little things, almost like Super Mario Brothers, and you get like little prizes. There's like foreplay bingo.
Dopamine Central, right?
There's literally everything that you could have. And you know, another thing I like is that if you're into public play, maybe not so much like hardcore PDA or anything like that, but you love kind of the excitement of taking your vibe in public in a very discreet way. Like there's several Lovense products that have been designed like especially for that, like a little panty vibe, you know what I mean, that you can wear out. No one's going to know, but it kind of gives people this sense of, ooh, you know, we're doing something fun and exciting, but it's easy and you can experience something new and different. I just really like all the opportunities that you have. So, you know, one of the key, I would say, kind of social features within the Lovense app would be control roulette, like we talked about, which you can link with random strangers and they don't know anything about you, which is totally safe. There's Link Hub, which you can actually join groups or you can join single people and play and, you know, meet each other that way and continue. You can, you know, post your own link and have people join. I think it's really good for like DNS couples. Like if you have a Dom with like multiple subs, the app is set up so that you can really accommodate and control and individualize everything.
Partner dashboard.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So we are inclusive, whether you are a single person, a couple, a poly couple, whatever it may be. We're here to be supportive of your relationship format.
It truly is like your mind is your only limiter, people. This is definitely something you can just do. What experience can't you sell in this? I'll try to find one. Well, I'll try to stump you throughout here. That's awesome.
Music is a big
yeah. I was going to say, what
factor.
are the big trends you might be seeing that maybe people don't like realize it's a real big trend inside the like app community? Because right, you would know.
I would say like a lot of it is, so we have a couple different ways that you can play music and enjoy the app that'll base off of the music vibes. Or you could set it to like music in public. So like if you're going to a rave or a festival or a movie or something like that, it's very dynamic with the environment. And so you're kind of getting this excitement in your like night out or whatever you're doing.
Almost, yeah.
So I just think that that's neat. You've got like a way to set like alarms for people to wake up with vibrations. So you can stay connected to partners in other ways. So it's not just about long distance relationships, which I think is where a lot of app products started, was closing the distance. You know what I mean? And connecting people regardless of geography. And it's just grown so much more beyond that.
I mean, there's so many, like you were talking about inclusivity is like also outside of just target audiences. It's like, oh my goodness, target experiences too. Plenty of couples that maybe have to travel or, and it's everything. The list goes on. I just got to ask, any surprises you've seen from the community in their feedback use? I just got to know anything
So
I would have thought of.
The biggest feedback I get is people love the idea of control roulette. People love the idea of connecting with strangers. We also have a app that we're a partner app called Vibemate. So Vibemate works with AI. And so this has been a huge hit right now because you can use AI to link all of your toys to porn.
Okay, so let's do it. Vibemate and the AI, like we got to know because we teed you up for it. How are people engaging with all of this digital? I don't know. Is it digital upkeep? Right. We got a dashboard. Now we got an AI. Now we can have everything connected.
It's all actually really easily contained within the app. I think the biggest draw of Vibemate, aside from syncing your porn to porn.
Corn
toy to porn. Oh my god, right? I can't talk.
I know, but now I just say corn because that's like I'm trying to learn all the what you change the words for without getting shadow banned. I'm not monetized, so I don't know why I care, but I think it's fun. I can use the same language. We'll call it corn.
Yeah. But so you can actually sync your toy through Vibemate. You can create an AI avatar to play with. So you can talk to the avatar, you can create this perfect person. They will control your vibe for you. So if you don't want to go the human interaction route.
It's so Ready Player One, like right now, in cuter packaging.
Yes. And Vibemate also hosts these orgies, these massive online orgies. I think
I remember hearing about all of these, definitely like pandemic. And then like, it was like, will it keep up? What's the answer? I know the answer because I saw the articles, but we'll ask the expert. How you kept this all up? Yeah.
61,000 people joined from across the world for the last orgy. It's so popular. And when I'm in stores and we start talking about like all these different, apps that work with Lovense and all like the, kind of social connection within the app, I think it really gives stores an opportunity to change the conversation that they're having with customers. Like I know the standard, like, how are you doing? Can I help you find anything or something like that? But I think that this allows you to bring a product to the customer that they may not have been looking for and introduce them to this whole new this whole new world that they didn't know anything about. They didn't even know to ask for. You know, the toys are very beginner friendly. Like, you don't have to use the app if you don't want to. I don't know why you wouldn't want to, but maybe your phone dies.
It's like a TV and being like, I don't want to use the remote. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Something died. That's why I like this option. Okay, okay.
So, you know, you've got the social settings within the Lovense app. You've got the music connectivity. You've got the link hub, which you can join other people. You've got the control roulette, which you can share anonymous control, which is like the big hit. You know, Vibemate, you can go in and create a persona and talk to them. You can be like, oh, vibrate harder, and they'll be like, yes, my love, whatever I can do to stimulate, you know, like it's like a full
like remember how cool Siri was when she first came out, and you'd be like, oh, I can make her call me beautiful, and then all of a sudden all my emails and text messages were signed beautiful, and I was like, wait, no, not that, but like it was super fun.
You can actually connect Siri to your Lovense toy and tell Alexa, or not Siri, but your Alexa devices, you can tell Alexa how to control your vibe.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you guys gave her that power. Did you change her voice? I did the voice update on mine. It's weird.
No, because you just kind of say, Alexa, vibrate harder, like Alexa, vibrate faster. And it's just a very like interesting concept. You can link your Spotify channel to your vibe. And so you can make playlists, you can use any type of music.
Don't have to redo your playlist, everybody.
My
husband gets it, but he doesn't get it.
Right. Or any music that you have downloaded on your device. So like if you have iTunes actually downloaded onto your phone, you can use any of that music as well. So again, talking about like that kind of social fun, you've got music, you've got video, you've got all these different, you know, options. I do see people that meet each other online and there's like a gifting option, or they can send like a wish list of these new partners. The other thing I really like, and I know it's probably not so much like an everyday fun thing, but I love how these products have enabled the CAM audience to become these independent entrepreneurs and take out like, you know, take sex work to the next level and integrate with audiences around the world
and be very safe at the same time.
Exactly. I think safety is the big thing. And that's, you know, when we're talking about Vibemate and like, you know, you can say, oh, it syncs to porn and you can do this and that. And I feel very comfortable recommending any of these apps. You know, we have over 200 people on our app development team. Everything is so monitored. It's so secure. It's so safe. So if you have any of those concerns about like, oh, I'm going to catch a virus or whatever, like, please don't have that. Like, that's just not something that happens. It's so closely monitored. And then
I feel like that's really good information if anybody here is on the sales floor, right? I'm sure somebody, you know, things that just don't always make it on the box because most people wouldn't ask, right? It's like, no, we have a team of 200 people making sure that you're going to stay safe.
Absolutely. And I love that, like, you know, like the Bloom app that we were talking about. So Bloom basically will connect your vibe to erotic stories, and it will vibrate during the naughty parts. Like, it's a super cool feature. They're working on it right now. I'm excited for that to come out. Vibemate
I can't wait. I need to know what books you're syncing, or if you need a suggestion list.
Yeah, there's like, I think if you go,
like right now.
Yeah, I think there's like 51 stories so far that are Vibemate or I mean Bloom ready. So we just have to work on the connectivity issues. It's a newer thing for us, so we're working on the syncing capabilities. But super fun. And then, you know, the other app that I think is really important is called Tophy. Tophy is like Tinder for sex toys. Tell me
about the Tinder of the toys, friend. Do it.
So you've got a couple different opportunities on how to use Tophy. It kind of works, and I totally get how guys are addicted to Grindr and like checking out who's in the area, because you can do that with Tophy. And anywhere I go, I'm like, oh my God, who has Lovense within like a 5-mile radius? And I'm always like,
or
shocked.
Like, when do you not go somewhere again? Maybe I'm aging myself, or it's like, oh, my dirty secret, and check out the Zillow places wherever you are. Like,
basically, I've traded Zillow for sex toys. I want to know who's in the area. I want to know what they're up to. It's just really interesting that there's like you know, I live in like Old Town Pasadena, and I pulled it up like earlier this morning, and I think there was like 15 people logged on with Lovense toys within like a 10-mile radius.
That rocks, because it's like, you know what you don't know. And that just, I don't know.
Yes,
Overactive
it's just like,
imagination for me is like, yeah, you can take that fantasy like wherever you want now.
and again, through Tophy, you can also build like an avatar. You can go into like what's called Vibe Park, where people are just kind of hanging around waiting to play. So you can kind of go in and pick a partner. And one of the things I love about all of this is it really enables the sales reps on the sales floor to, I think, have some different conversations than they're used to. You know, you can talk to them about like, hey, are you using your toy with a partner? Like, here's all the ways that it works, you know, great for single people. Here's all the ways it works for couples. Here's, you know, all the ways that, you know, you can integrate these fun games and anything like that into your life, and syncing it with porn. And it's almost overwhelming, everything that you can accomplish. But I promise you, and I promise the audience, it's not hard to use tech wise. It's been designed for entry level. It's designed that it's easy to manage the toys. You can change the lights and make them all fun.
And it sounds like it's designed to grow with your journeys, right? Like, I'm sure if somebody purchased a Lovense toy a few years ago, they were not expecting to have, you know, access to the greater depth of communities you guys have sent out there.
Absolutely. And like being able to, you know, the toys constantly update the hardware. So even if you do have an older toy, it's still going to have the same up-to-date hardware that a brand new one would. It's just an easy 30-second update if you need it. And so I think that this really challenges the associates on the floor to have these open-ended conversations that they're not currently having. And I think that that's a little bit of a challenge. Obviously I'm here to help anyone with it, but, you know, think about the questions of like, do you go to a lot of concerts, or do you go to the movie a lot? Do you like, you know, social settings? Do you like public play? You know, these are the questions that you can ask.
All right. One of our favorite trips. Tell me what you're doing on vacation, right? Because sometimes you get people that are a tough nut to crack. You need to make sure you're not giving them the like, yes, now, answers, but don't smother them. Right.
Yeah. And I feel like anything that they tell you, any answer of like, yes, I like to go to the movie, you crazy person, or whatever, you know, you can be like, oh my gosh, you should buy one of our wearable Vibes and take it to the movie and have a new experience, or, you know, let your new partner control it, or, you know, different things like that. And I just think it's really neat that it can fit into your everyday life in a very easy way, but implement all this new technology and these vibes. That's just incredible.
That's I'm just going to leave it 1 second for one more question, because I want to know. And then I don't know if internet capabilities or let us log on, but I also have fun rapid fire questions, because I was like, maybe we can see some stuff, but I don't know. I'll leave that to you. We'll try it, but it seems like you had to log on to your mobile device. So I don't know if you can show us on your mobile devices.
I don't think I can share my screen.
So that's fine. We'll just do this later, because I'll see you next week.
But like, let me just tell everybody, and I can put like some comments. Any of the apps that you download for Lovense, are free. They don't cost you anything, which I love. There's
like, you already bought the toy.
There's no in-app purchases or anything like that. Once you download them, it literally, the Bluetooth searches for a toy right away, and it'll be like, do you want to link this toy? And you hit yes, and it's over. So it's such an easy process. And that's why I think like I want to bridge that gap of people who are intimidated into breaking into the sex technology, and making them realize if you're using a cell phone on a daily basis, you can use this app.
I love that. Yes, it could be, I don't know. It could be overwhelming, but it also sounds like you cover it's a wide enough net that if I was on the sales floor right now, that would be like, I don't know that everybody's brain's this way, but half of my personality now is just like one-liners that I've like put in this slot of like ka-ching when I don't know what to say. So if I'm like, I got a tough nut customer or whatever, I'd be like, well, let's look over here. Tell me what experience you're looking for. Tell me what kind of feelings or literally vibes you were looking for, because what won't this do, right? once you can kind of filter that down, it seems like not only does this seem to, you get a bigger bang for your buck as far as like, do you want something to grow with you if you don't get tired of things? Because that's me. I'm not your average consumer though, right? Like we're all just like in it for the technology part of it, right? Like we're
right. You get that like instant gratification on a new toy, and then you're like, eh. But like I love that these stay exciting because like literally Link Hub just popped up like 2 weeks ago. Like that was a new feature they did. Like, you know, so there's always something that's new and different. And I love that they added like foreplay bingo in the game section. So you have like a little built-in foreplay area, you know, that's free. You don't have to worry about it. It's just part of the experience. I don't know. I just think it's such a neat opportunity in the time that we live in that we have access to these types of products. And a lot of times I feel like stores, especially in more like transient locations with a lot of like visitors and traffic coming through, you know, these are excellent opportunities to sell to people on the road. You know what I mean? That are traveling, and you can really be like, hey, this is a great way to spice up your trip. The other thing I like is that several of the toys work in response with each other. So the gentleman can have his toy and the lady can have her toy. And as they each use them, the vibration is reciprocated to the partner. So even if you are long distance, you can still feel kind of what everyone is experiencing. And I think that that's a really
kind of sweet, right? Like
awesome connection. You know. Yeah. And we have it for same-sex couples as well. It's not just hetero. So you can definitely, you know, surprise your partner with a vibe and be like, hey, I have my own vibe too. Let's play and experience it, you know, each other's vibrations, regardless of where you're at in the world. And I really appreciate that, because with people traveling so much and so far, it's nice to know that you have a product that's going to work regardless of where anyone is. You just need Wi-Fi.
You think this could actually change how people shop for pleasure products? I mean, I've seen a lot more space personally dedicated to this sort of technology in stores I go to, but I'm only one person. What say you?
I think that it really is immersing because, you know, honestly, the price points aren't that bad for everything that you get. When you are like, hey, the Lovense app works with 4 different other apps, 5 once we get Bloom erotic stories going. You know, there's just so much to do and you're never going to get tired of it. I don't think you're ever going to get bored. There's the constant updates. So I guess when I look at the value, it's really not that much to me for everything that you get. And I don't think the sticker shock is there, kind of like when app toys first came out, you know, and they were much more expensive than a traditional Vibe. I don't think that there's that gap anymore, you know, because like I'll go into a store and see like a really nice rabbit for $150. And that's about the same price as our app enabled rabbit, you know, so I definitely have that conversation with people. Like, don't be as intimidated by the price point as maybe you were at one time. And don't be afraid to show customers that price point, because I think it's so easy to prove the value of the product. You know what I mean? To talk about everything it does and why it's that way. So the perceived value is so great by the time you're done with the conversation that it's super easy to check out. And, you know, there isn't a lot of add-on products that you have to buy, you know, like attachments and cords and docks and things like that. Like it all comes with it. So I really like that it's an inclusive purchase. It's easy. You can get home. It's very easy to access like IT help if you have a question on the app. And stores are definitely becoming, I don't want to say better versed, but well versed in how to integrate app products, I think, into the initial suggestion. Because I think a lot of people come into stores and they're like, oh, it's my first time. And we immediately think of like, oh, a gentle rabbit or a gentle G-spot vibe, you know, something to kind of introduce them into the toy world. And I don't think that you have to have that reservation anymore, quite like we used to have. And so recommending an app enabled toy first off as your first vibe would be just as perfect as, you know, one of maybe the original ones we used in the past.
Yeah, some of it's almost like it's expected. Like, do you have a website, Tori? No, not yet. I promise I'm a real person, kind of thing. Like it adds that legitimacy almost to your product. And I think it truly does not only just like help your brand, but like what is it? You're almost doing the Nike or the Apple, where it's like you're going to hook them and you're going to like keep them forever. And not a lot of brands, it's not a bad thing, strategize that way. They're like, right, our target audience is just these like 18 to 25-year-olds. Lovense is doing, correct me if I'm wrong, very much just like, once you're in, your family, right? Like we're gonna do something all the time.
And it's really, I don't want to say really easy, but I think for like the stores that I've been in, that I've talked to, like once someone buys their first Lovense item, it's pretty easy to upsell them into another one.
Well, yeah, it's like built that products.
Yeah, they've built that brand loyalty. They love it. Yes, I just think it's such a fun time like we live in, that we have the opportunity to experience this type of, sex technology in our world in an everyday way.
I love it. Okay, can we do rapid fires, because they make me laugh. Someday I'm going to get all my like Instagram clips together and we'll all do these, but like it'll be fun then. Shush. Okay.
Rapid fire me away.
I'm going to rapid fire you with my dogs. Okay. What's the weirdest notification you've ever gotten from a smart toy? Because, right, you probably log in and do a bunch of different things.
Honestly, I don't really have anything weird that's happened. Like I'm telling you, these are like seamless. Like when I first started, I was really nervous to like experiment and like hit control roulette and see what happens or something like that. But then I realized all you have to do is disconnect. Like you guys can go in and download these apps and play with them. You don't have to have a toy, which I think is really cool. So you can go in and experience.
See, I didn't know that. You can just go in and hang out. Look at that, guys.
Just check out what it has to offer. I mean, obviously you won't be able to connect the toy, but you can see all the different opportunities within the apps. You can see how the app might work for you. So even before you buy a toy, you could experiment. And I think that that's really nice too for like store associates who want to learn more and, become stronger salespersons for higher ticket items. You can go in and download these apps as well and check them out and see how it works and really fit that into your sales floor presentation, because you know what works for you, what works for your customers. I just think that we have to put more thought into the conversations around how we take someone from a beginner vibe to like a high-end like app vibe.
And then it's okay, right? Like I know we've been in survival mode, and so some of your customers might feel turn and burn at this point, but they're not meant to be. It's not normal. Everybody is not normal. So in theory, you would have these customers, your regulars for life.
They do. Like when I go into stores and I talk to like the associates that own like their own personal, Lovense toys, most of them have multiples. Like they're dedicated to the brand, like they love the app. But I just think that most people, realize, oh, it's just the Lovense app, and it's really not. It's the Lovense app. It's the Tophy app for Tinder. It's the Vibemate app that's syncing your porn or music videos or anything on screen. It's just
your avatars.
And I think it's so cute that you can create an avatar and make them like your boyfriend or girlfriend.
I know. I need to start making cuter avatars for social medias, right? Then I don't have to do my hair. I guess that's what we do now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world.
Go in and create your own avatar. The Bloom stories will be cool once that launches, and it basically goes through an erotic story, and your vibe will vibrate through like the intimate parts. So you get a little sauciness with your
saucy intimate parts. Ooh.
Yes. And actually Vibemate just introduced an erotica section as well. So if you want to go on and so there's a lot of different, ways that you can use apps. And I think it brings value in different ways to people. Like I love, like maybe you don't want to sync to porn. Maybe you want to read erotica or, something like that. Or maybe you want to watch music videos with your vibe vibrating in sync. Like I just love like the opportunity it allows you to have.
Yeah, your imagination is your only limitation. I
literally say that because like, when you go in and you're like, a lot of toys are like, oh, we have 10 speeds and 10 functions, with Lovense, you kind of have to get out of that mind frame because it's unlimited.
Yeah, you're like, cool, we got all these functions and speeds, but also you can customize the functions and speeds based on your environment. So here, filter out your environment.
Your music library.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
there's
goodness.
even a feature, it's called speed mode, and it's for the passenger in the car. But as you're driving and you speed up, your vibe accelerates harder. Yes. So I always like encourage people, like when I was in Texas and I was like, you have a Six Flags right here. Like everyone should be buying a Panty Vibe to go down all the rides and feel the vibration as they're, you know, going through the park. Hi, baby.
Oh, another baby. Okay, wait. She's being very serious and important. Choo-choo. Okay, so if you could give one of these fabulous Lovense guys, right? One of your app enabled, say it's your fancy AI guy, right? Or gal, or that I'm not going to assume, yes. What celebrity voice would you give them and why?
Oh, that's a good one. I would really do like Angelina Jolie. Like I've always thought like her non-accent but kind of accent voice,
yeah. like circa Tomb Raider, where it's kind of like a British accent, but it's not quite.
Yeah, that's probably who I would go with, was Angelina Jolie. Like she's I love her. Like I think she's great.
Goodness. Okay, I will take it.
Who would you pick?
Ooh, right now probably Teddy Hamilton, because I'm in like a audiobook zone, right? The guy, he's like him, or like what is it, Anthony Palmini, the guys that are like voicing like Zayden and all the like Teddy Hamilton did Zayd Meadows. I don't know if it's a dark romance one, but he did the Zayden chapter in Fourth Wing before it was the graphic audio. It's like the last one where it's in his point of view, where he's like, oh, spoiler, someone's knocking on the door kind of thing, right? So he's got I'll send you a clip later or next week. He's got the like I don't know, where it's like it's a normal voice, but it's unique enough that you're like, oh, hey, what's up? Okay, so let's say Angelina Jolie has a playlist, right? What's the first song on her playlist before logging into Lovense?
I think she wants something with a lot of bass. I literally have, I think, Pitbull going on mine for my example when I play.
Oh, that's kind of perfect.
Yeah. And so I just, you know what, it's such a special experience. And I know this sounds kind of cheesy, but that's fine. I'm a little cheesy. But
I love cheesy.
When I go into stores and like we pass around the toy and we put on the music and everyone gets so happy, that's like one of my favorite parts of the demonstration, because
that's like why we do it, right? It's like for the happy guys, even though these are businesses and they're stressed, it's like we do it for happy.
Well, and look at walking down the street and 9 out of 10 people have earbuds in. You know what I mean? Like we are a very music driven population. And so I think the incorporation of music into this app is a really big deal. And I like that it doesn't just internalize the music, you can hear it while it's playing and your vibe is syncing. So it's a very connected experience.
I love that. And it's not even a choppy connection. It's just like solid and smooth and just always there.
Yeah. And I love the warranty. Everything is a year. Super easy to go through the warranty process. The warehouse is based in California. So if you do have a replacement coming, it's not going to take very long to get it. But yeah, I just am very enamored by like the social interactions that our products offer. And I just think it's such a neat outlet that you can't find in a lot of other places.
No, humans are not meant to be alone. We really are not. We have the fancy brain and the need and the desire for intimacy and pleasure, because the fancy brain requires all of that.
And another thing that I think factors in is we talk about people's schedules. We talk about, like I live in Pasadena, and let's say I meet someone who's on the other side of LA. Like, I don't want to do that hour and a half drive every night, but hey, we've got a toy, we can connect, we can chat, we can send pictures. Like, I just love, hello, ma'am. I just love like the different the different capabilities, how you can implement it into your life in a really easy way. Let the app work for you, not the other way around.
Heck yeah. Smarter, not harder, kind of, right? Okay, last rapid fire question before I'm like, let's reflect for retailers. What's the one thing that you wish users knew before pairing their toys to an app?
I don't think it's so much about pairing it to the app. I think it's more so knowing what apps are available.
Touche, touche.
Because honestly, I can't even tell you, Tori, they are so easy to connect. I mean, it literally.
I'm gonna come play on your booth next week. I'm gonna connect it.
Yeah. It's just a super easy process. So I don't, like I said, I don't really anticipate people having a lot of issues. The app is very intuitive and it's been designed to make
perfect. There's no like get on Chrome or do Apple versus Android,
not
right?
at all.
Like, look at that. That's fabulous. That's super fabulous. Okay, so I'm gonna just like, we gotta do the wrap up. That's funny because we were selling the condoms. Just for people that want to scroll forward to the section on YouTube that says key takeaways for them retailers, right? From your point of view, how should retailers and buyers be thinking about stocking app compatible toys and making sure that there's education on digital intimacy tools?
So I think it takes, we have a very small, we don't have a small selection, but we have a more conservative selection. I think we have about 39 products. Every product is purpose intended. So there's one rabbit, there's, one G-spot vibe. There's, everything is just individual in one color. So I think it makes it easy to bring in, part of the line. I think we've talked about a lot of conversations about how to introduce this. And I am always happy to get online and do a training with a team or a person or a new hire. We do have something in the pipelines as far as a training resource for Lovense that people will be able to go on and get some more app information if they feel like it. We just want to make sure everything's as accessible as possible and make it as easy for you guys to sell. Merchandising, I kind of have some split opinions on this. I know a lot of stores merchandise by category. I get it. It's hard to walk a customer who wants a rabbit vibe through 15 different brand sections instead of like one rabbit section. However, when it comes to Lovense, that is one brand that I would merchandise together just so that you can give a snapshot like, okay, here's all the toys that do everything. They're all right here. It's a small section. It's easy to place.
But don't limit it to just there. Cross-selling this, what experience can you not make with a Lovense? So make sure you do have maybe some at least best performers kind of cross-sold in outfits.
Yeah,
like
I know like some stores have like influencer picks, or like influencer sections or manager picks. I encourage people to have like your Lovense section, but like pop in some products to cross merchandise, like in your guys section, like, that's like the guys items are really the ones that like latch on to linking with porn. Like I honestly, if you have a guy come in, just ask him if he watches porn and then sell him a Lovense item. It's that easy.
It's like just making sure you ask them, and your condoms too. Like assume that yes, they're gonna buy it. Like it's just people forget to ask and they don't buy it.
Yeah. So I think the cross merchandising of like maybe having like the men's section and the women's section kind of together, but then maybe breaking out a few pieces into top selling categories. So regardless of how you walk someone around the store, you're going to run into Lovense in like multiple areas. Like when the Bloom app is finalized, I'd love to see stores do it. Like maybe one of our top selling items, like in their, book section, and we can make some signage so that they know that there's like an app enabled product that they could use instead of just like buying a book. I think it'll really help stores enhance different sections as well.
I love that, right? Because you're still going to run into the customer that maybe needs to take a second and then you need to re-engage. So signage, at least from my side, helps to kind of lead those people where you're going to want them to be anyways.
Yeah, and we're working on developing signage and, working on helping people like cross merchandise. And also do the bundles for couples, you know, so if you do have one person traveling, I always say we like equality in couples. Everyone should get a toy, not just the person going away. What about the person at home? They want some loving too. So I think being able to set up the bundles with the signage that we have coming will also be like a really nice opportunity for stores to cross sell and just have a nice experience with Lovense and multiple points in the store.
Oh goodness, I love that. And feel free to send me anything when these stuff come out. Like I just to check in and be like, guys, we have it, we did it. Because I think that's important to just know what people don't know, what they don't know, right? So she's done the majority of the thinking for you. Now let's make some money, right? Where can people find you, right? If they're looking to get either training or they need some help with merchandising or they've got product questions.
So my email is very simple. It's just Danielle@lovense.com. I am always accessible. If you don't have my email, you can Facebook me. I'm very easy to get a hold of. I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited to connect with you. So, you know, definitely please don't be a stranger in reaching out. Like I love to be in the stores. I love to talk to stores. Anything that I can do to kind of help support business and help growth and really show the features off of these products, because it's so fun for me when I go into a store and they know like nothing other than like, oh, you can connect to an app. And then I leave and it's like, oh my God, we can do porn and we can do avatars and we can do books.
Yeah, you see the aha moments like ping, 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 ping.
Yeah, and I love it too, because a lot of the tradings I'm in, they'll be like, oh, this customer could use that, or this customer could use that. There's already like ideas on who to sell it to and how to sell it. And so I love that they can leave with that like thought process of forward thinking happening. So makes it easy for me.
Right? There's just a plethora that was like cornucopia, and like just there's so many things you can do. See, I'm tripping over. There's just too much stuff. Okay, so reach out. We can use the social medias. You can email her. We're wrapping up. So the last, like, I give everybody a second to be like, what's the one piece of advice that if you just had to stick to one, what's your favorite that you want to give anybody out there?
A piece of advice or like my favorite product?
You could do either.
Well, my biggest piece of advice would be to give Lovense, do 5 to 10 items to start with, because there's such a variety. So if you're going to start, you know, don't pick just like one item, because I don't think that that's going to help you push the experience to the customer. My second kind of piece of advice is this is an experience. This is a premium experience that you can offer people. It fits into their lifestyle. Definitely push that. And then I would say my favorite product is the Dami wand. She's beautiful, and she has no vibration in the handle, and that's like my biggest pet peeve when it comes to wands.
Oh, because you're like, I'm getting it all the way up in my shoulder.
Yeah, don't need
numb places. I was not trying. Okay.
Yeah. So that would be my feedback is put in a little Lovense display section. We have some new marketing materials to kind of help bring out these sections and like small, easy ways that stores could place. So reach out to me and I can help get you these supplies. We can always, you know, I'm having like a kind of Vibemate flyer made that you could post next to the toys so that customers could see like, oh, I sync to porn.
Stick that thing in like, what is it, a 4x6 acrylic? You can pick them up at Office Max, put it on your shelf. I guarantee it helps so much with not just the look and feel of the store, but just driving your traffic where you want it to go.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to work on having more signage for retailers that talk about all the apps that are included and how to use them. And I think that that'll be good for not only like the customers that are coming in, but, you know, stores get new associates all the time, and, you know, they do their best to learn. And so I think with that signage there, it would also be helpful for like new associates coming on and training and being better able to serve the customer because of those marketing assets that we have in place on displays.
Yeah, like make it work for you. Nobody wants to take up the space if it's not doing anything.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I guess it's time. You heard my children come home. I do appreciate your flexibility today. And thank you so much for coming. And I'll see you next week. And did you babies? Anybody else that's at AMI, she's going to be around. So, you know, if you haven't made an appointment, you can comment here or social media, one of us, and we'll get you to Danielle and her lovely. Hi, baby. Oh, you're so pretty. Okay. Otherwise, thank you so much, everybody. It's going to be a fun couple of weeks. I feel it. There's changes in the air. At least that's just me. We'll make it fun.
There is. You're welcome. Thanks for having me, and happy selling, guys. And don't be strangers. Please reach out. I'm happy to help.
Thank you so much. We'll talk soon, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye.